They know you can't claim self-defense against an unarmed man like this.
We are concerned about whether it's conscious or unconscious, the impact of their presence with respect to the jury and with respect to the proceedings in this case.
You know, I was watching an episode of You where measles came up.
Wait. When did I mention measles?
I don't know. It was on.
Allahu Akbar. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Well, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
What's going on, Habibis? I'm Siraj Hashmi.
I'm Jay Kobbe.
We're the Habibi Bros. Welcome back to another episode of Habibi Power Hour. Jay, what the fuck's up, buddy?
How you doing, sir? It's been a while since we've had a live. We've double teamed this.
Triple team.
Yeah, triple
It's
team.
been a whole 2 weeks.
It has been. It really has been. I just got back from a trip from Dallas, which was 2 days, no sleep, drinking, and then replacing you, of course.
Well, obviously, yes, you did. You son of a bitch. Anyways, Habibis, if you're a first-time watcher, you can follow Jay on Twitter at @Asslicken, ASSLIKEN. I don't know why I keep saying that. I don't know if I can ever say that with a straight
with
face.
a straight face.
You can find me on Twitter at Siraj Hashmi. Of course, you can find Habibi Bros at Habibi_Bros on Twitter. Hit that like and subscribe button. If you haven't already, check out the Discord channel, the Discord server. It's a Habibi Discord server. That's pretty lit right there, Jay, is it not?
Oh, it is. We got 1,000 jihadis with us right now, and through the Patreon server, you get a few perks.
Yes.
You get to get on stream with us, get some behind-the-scenes stream going, also gaming, and we're actually going to be watching another Habibi movie night next week.
Oh,
yes.
Oh,
it's going to be next week, next Sunday.
Next Sunday. What are we watching?
No, I'm sorry, this Sunday. I apologize. It's going to be this Sunday. We're going to be watching The Messenger. It's the acclaimed documentary of the Quran and Muhammad's life. And we're going to be watching it in Arabic with me dubbing.
Oh, God.
I'm going to play all parts, including Allah.
So going to hell.
Inshallah.
Inshallah. And as always, Habibis, we're on Rumble. We have that nifty partnership with Rumble. So go ahead and give us that boost and sub to our channel on Rumble, Habibi Power Hour. That's rumble.com/Habibi Power Hour. Jay.
Yes, sir.
Man, we got a lot of news to cover this week. Where do we start, really? Where do we start? I am puzzled.
Well, my favorite thing is how the Attorney General is trying to, appropriate our culture by calling parents domestic terrorists. That title, my friend, is only supposed to be for the Ahmeds and Mohammeds.
I know.
Not for the Johns and Lisas or Susans.
Jay, this is cultural appropriation at its worst, okay? Our culture is not your goddamn prom dress. Christopher Rufo tweeting out here. Breaking. House Republicans have obtained whistleblower documents showing that the FBI is using its counterterrorism division to investigate and add threat tags, quote unquote threat tags, to parents, contradicting Attorney General Merrick Garland's sworn testimony, and Rufo adding Merrick Garland must resign. This actually comes after a number of different reports, particularly from an FBI whistleblower, claimed that the DOJ was using counterterrorism tools against parents in response to school board memo. Now, this memo, which came out in October, for those who are not aware, it's pretty much what kind of tipped the scales in favor of a certain Republican candidate for governor in Virginia.
Right.
And I mean, honestly, as soon as that came out, as soon as they started treating parents like domestic terrorists, that sealed the deal for Democrats, I think. But as you said it, Jay, that right there is cultural appropriation, and I will have none of it.
Absolutely not. And it's very, very stunning. And what Rufo was bringing up, his testimony, Merrick Garland's testimony, was denying any of that was happening. When we saw the memo, we read the memo ourselves. And for him to come out and outright lie as he did on the stand, and then with the whistleblower coming out with this additional information. I mean, it's just so weird that we would take anything on this guy's word, and how we can't see, the office of the DOJ being politicized the way that it has been.
Yeah. And what's wild is that they can't, the thing is, Jay, most of the times and there's a lot of gaslighting to be had.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of times in which, say for example,
100%.
right after, essentially, I'm not drinking tonight because I'm still sick, but I'm working my way back.
No worries. I'm going on day 3. I got you, Habibi.
Oh, thank you, Habibi. I would just want to say, I'll get to that comment from Sarah Jacobs in just a moment here. But what really, after the November 3rd election, there were a lot of Democrats and people on the left were saying, oh, critical race theory, that actually doesn't exist. There's a lot of gaslighting. Interestingly enough, there actually has not been that type of gaslighting here with the National School Board Association and their board of directors saying in that memo that any parent should be treated as a domestic terrorist. They actually, in fact, instead of denying that it ever happened or doubling down, they apologized for it. Mm-hmm. And they issued a letter saying that and saying they regretted it. Which sort of just affirms that they said exactly what it is that they said.
Right, and it's also it's also showing that there is collusion between the Department of DOJ and these teachers unions.
Department of DOJ,
not the
you
Department
just called
of
it Department of Justice.
Did I say Department? Sorry.
No,
sorry.
Department of Justice.
This is 3 days of drinking, my son. This is 3 days of drinking, and I shit you not, I've had maybe 2 hours of sleep. I don't know what it was about Texas in those beds, but I could not sleep at all.
That's amazing.
Mm.
That's Spencer Sachs, everyone, our producer.
and it's just so mind-boggling that they would go after parents the way that they were. They're saying that you can't have a say in your child's education. You cannot voice your concerns. And if you do, we're going to attack you with the full force of the federal government.
Right. I mean, just the fact that you would have the FBI would have files on parents at school board protests is that takes you back to civil rights movement. I'm trying to remember the operation name. It's an acronym, but it's basically a smushed term. But it's basically
Operation Academic Social Strategy Enforcement.
I can't bring you anywhere. No, it's just that just them spying on communists. That's all. Oh my God, Jay. Yeah, so we'll see what ends up happening. I mean, the fact that Merrick Garland is still kind of sticking to his guns here, it's pretty mind-boggling. Sarah Jacobs, thank you, Sarah, says, Jay, is that film the one by Mustafa Akkad, who made the first 3 original Halloween movies?
I believe so. The same executive producer. And he made one in English, and then he redid it for Arabic, and that's the one we're going to watch.
JD Locke says COINTELPRO. Thank you, guys. And Howard Brown. Yes, that's the name. It's not Smirsh.
Now I want to know what Smirsh stands for.
I want to know what Smirsh stands for. Okay.
Where do you think it goes from there? What do you think is the next step the Democrats because let's face it, this has been a very strong play for Democrats to push any opposition against critical race theory being taught in schools, being taught in corporate settings and stuff. And it's just weird to me that they say it's not taught, you're an idiot, but if you are voicing your concerns over it, we're going to call you a terrorist.
Well, what's actually interesting about it, Jay, is I saw a tweet earlier this week in which basically the strategy heading into the 2022 midterms was that Democrats were going to double down on I wouldn't say it's critical race theory per se, but sort of like the same strategy that they went into the 2021 election.
Right.
I think it's one of those things where you're like, oh, no possible way for this to backfire on them.
Well, we're going to see next year. That's for sure.
No, it's just one of those things where like you look at it and you're wondering if people actually learn their lesson. And then you remember that this is politics we're talking about here. There is no possible way that anyone learned their lesson about anything. Nobody. It's like it. God, I just want to smash my head through the wall. I don't know why I'm even talking. I don't even know why we're talking about this right now. This just, God damn it. I'll figure it out. Oh yeah, this is the from Business Insider. Democratic strategists plan to get aggressive on critical race theory. Okay, so I was wrong. It actually is that they're going to get aggressive on critical race theory.
Yes.
They're going to say Republicans are putting politicians in charge of the classroom and white supremacists in charge of the curriculum. That's what.
But it's so funny because you can definitely turn it on its head and just claim that Democrats are putting commies in, because this is what they fucking are. Like, I can't, every time I see a lib of TikTok tweet of a teacher who's saying we love critical race theory and I teach it to all my kids, you know that is a dipshit commie socialist that is taking control of the classroom. Absolutely. Yeah. And they're totally okay with brainwashing kids as long as the politics follows what they want.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
in California,
here's where it gets like messy, because ultimately one of the lines that I've heard about, or at least people who are pro CRT, the criticism that they make of people who are anti CRT is that they don't want history to be taught in schools. Now, there is a old saying, I can't remember who said this, maybe it's not attributed to anyone, but history is told by the victors. You heard that saying, Jay?
Yeah, it was told by Michael Scott, Siraj Hashmi.
Sounds about right. That sounds about right.
Just do this real quick. Do this real quick. Like, and look out. Now somebody get a screenshot, please, and then put that quote behind Michael Scott, Siraj Hashmi. Perfect.
Yeah.
We got it.
Okay. Yeah. Was I whatever. What is up, Habibis? Will Kamala be replaced? We're gonna get to that in just a moment. Actually,
yes, we are.
Get to that in just a moment, Haas. But that. Oh, now I'm blurry. What I wanted to say though about this criticism about the anti-CRT folks is that there is nothing wrong with teaching history in schools. What we are looking at right now is that there are two competing factions of teaching history. One with a more pro-American view and one with a more anti-American view. I don't know why those two sides can't really come together and sort of blend and teach history as it was meant to be taught.
Right.
Which is accurate.
But I think,
because like America, obviously, while it is, in my view, the greatest nation in the world, it is not without its faults. I mean,
right.
We have done some pretty awful shit over the course of our nation's history that Jay, you and I can attest, whether it be in domestically with slavery or internationally with the war on terror.
Or the internment camps.
Or the internment camps during World War II. I mean, it's Jim Crow. I mean, there's just too many things to count on one hit. McCarthyism, exactly.
No, there is. And I think it goes a little deeper than history, because like over here in California, for instance, they're getting rid of standardized testing, and also math is racist. So it goes into a little bit more than just history. It goes into the fundamental framework of everything, how everything is developed, how everything is done. You have to do mathematics in the lens of race. You have to do, geometry in the lens of race. You have to do science in the lens of race. That has nothing to do really a lot with history. It's fine to talk about history and the different point of views. I think racially is great because you have those different opinions. But when it comes to mathematics, science, logic, fucking, this is a fucking triangle, not, a white supremacist trying to hang your uncle and put a cross in their front yard. No, it's just a fucking triangle. Like that's where I'm seeing the biggest harsh of and the downfall of critical race theory in the classrooms. Because when parents see that type of shit, where their kid is going to be demonized for their skin color and also being a gifted student or being able to progress within the subject much better than anyone else, they're going to get up in arms on it. They really are. When you fuck with a parent's kid, they're going to give their opinion and they're going to fight.
Yeah. It's one of those things where, I actually, I'm not sure if you would get these kind of protests with just CRT. I feel like the mask mandate and the vaccine mandates have really, I feel like that was the catalyst to make parents overly upset, because that's no longer just about teaching them, because they've been teaching history in school, a different version of history in school for however long. But the mask mandate, that's still relatively novel. I mean, that is something where kids are having trouble either breathing or either interacting with their peers or their teachers or doing well in school. I mean, like it's invasive. And then again, so is COVID, but the likelihood of all these children actually getting COVID and killing them is pretty fucking low. Compared to the general population. So again, like I got the common cold. People wondered if I had COVID. I didn't. I know it's a cold. And I mean, now I kind of want to get, I don't want to say this out loud because then it's going to happen.
You've been watching too much Joe Rogan, but no, I'm right there with you anyways.
Yeah. Don't have us just tell you it. We have a lot of media say that it doesn't exist, but other media that say it does.
Critical race theory. It's an approach to teaching of American history and civics that argues systemic racism is woven into American law and institutions.
Critical race theory is not being taught in K-12 schools.
None of those states are teaching critical race theory in their K-12 schools, man. When it doesn't exist.
Your sixth graders not being taught critical race theory.
Critical race theory is not taught in elementary schools or middle school or high schools.
It's taught in law school.
Critical race theory, which isn't real.
Just to be clear, it's not in the curriculum.
All the CRT stuff is trumped up dog whistling.
We do not teach critical race theory here in Virginia. It has never been taught.
It not being taught in schools, that's 100% correct.
The whole purpose of critical race theory is to provide Americans with a way to understand the legacy of racism, even though those stories sometimes hurt.
I'm going to ban critical race theory. That is like us banning the ghost.
It's not.
Our Black Lives Matter pledge, our faculty members take forward this.
Critics portray as sort of judging people intrinsically as being racist or not.
Black babies who are still in the womb
because of the kind of health care that their mothers do not get, simply because they are black. That's why we're counting on you all, you young people coming up, to stop all this madness.
Critical pedagogy is in schools.
We do have critical race theory in how we teach.
There isn't any critical race theory.
Yeah, I mean, as you can see right there.
So it's not being taught.
Is it anti or not anti?
It's not being taught. So it's all a ghost. It's not being taught in schools. That's what that video showed. No, I'm kidding. It is influenced.
Hold on, Spencer, get back in here. Was that Spencer's work? Was that?
No, it wasn't.
Spencer,
No, it wasn't. It was Master Thief in Discord. He sent me it. I don't know whose it was originally, but he sent me that. He said if
I was gonna say,
tonight's
like,
show,
Spencer,
if you want to do it.
Spencer, I was just gonna say, like, if you've been withholding that sort of editing from us
this whole time,
drop.
I know.
Shit.
I mean, I just like
drop
building
that
to
shit
success.
for us. I was just gonna be like, Jay, you're fucking fired.
It's done.
Of course.
All right. Sorry, we were having issues on our Rumble. Our live stream just dropped in typical boomer fashion. So if you are coming back to the
Rumble stream, yes.
Of course, if the stream drops out again, we are simulcasting on YouTube and Twitch. So for those who are wondering who is where, that's kind of what's going on. All right, Jay. I don't want to waste too much time because obviously I think we spent a lot of time on this. I was hoping not to spend too much time on this, but here we are. But there's the next story we wanted to talk about is that now everything with COVID. Look, I got sick with the common cold. Dan wants pizza, says Spencer can't grow a beard, let alone edit a video like that.
That is very true.
Dan brings up a good point. Anyways, going back to COVID, Dr. Anthony Fauci still making headlines, unfortunately, and obviously for not good reasons. In this case, he is now saying that U.S. COVID cases need to fall below 10,000 a day to get to a degree of normality. Now, for perspective of where we currently are, we're now, for the past week, have averaging around 83,500 cases, COVID cases per day. So that is 73,000 too many, according to Dr. Fauci. And honestly, Jay, at this point, with it getting cold everywhere, it's only natural that people start getting sick and their immune system is more vulnerable. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I mean, like, Jay, I do not see us ever really getting below 10,000 COVID cases with the way that the U.S. government is currently handling everything.
I don't think we're going to see that either. And
or local or state or local governments either.
Right. And I just want to say, you know, if you get sick, you're a little bitch during these things. No, but also the funny thing is, like, I went to Texas and stuff. Like, what normalcy is this motherfucker talking about? If you go to Texas, if you go to Florida, if you go to some of these places with a degree of fucking competence, you're going to see that they are all living their lives normally. There is already a sense of normalcy in Florida, in Texas.
I can tell you that for sure, that there is a high degree of normalcy here in Florida.
Right. And then you go to places like New York and California that suck the dick of CNN or fucking any of these fucking places and just prey on their every fucking word. You know that they're not going to, they are not going to have a sense of normalcy. And they are not having a sense of normalcy by choice. They are allowing the fear that is being fed to them to dictate how they live their life or how they're going to be normal. Fuck, you have these people tweeting, you know, shit like, you know, my 2-year-old daughter was in the elevator and she told this guy off for not wearing a mouth. You go, queen. And it's like,
people don't have tolerance for that shit anymore with respect to you know, like being a Karen with people not wearing a mask. You get immediate, if you tweet about that shit, you get immediately ratioed.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because it's everyone. I think the majority of people are sick of it. And when I say the majority of people, it doesn't matter if it's 30 million people that live in LA that are all like, we still want to be, COVID ridden. That's fine. You fucks be COVID ridden, but everybody else shouldn't have to live their lives in fear just because people in California are pieces of shit.
Yeah. Frostbite on Twitch says, I find it hilarious Siraj and Jay cannot be living in more different places with regards to COVID rules. Yeah.
it's insane.
It's like a night and day between me and Jay.
No, it really is. But I live my life like I'm in Florida. Like, that's the funny thing. I live my life like I'm in Florida.
Anthony Rivera caught another Jayism, wearing a mouth. I heard that too.
Did I say wearing a mouth?
I heard
yes.
Mouth.
When I eat your mother's ass, I do wear this mouth. It's this mouth that I wear right here when I eat your mom's ass.
Rico Roca, thank you. Says, not once did my local gym in Florida ever require a mask. I went 5 days a week and never caught COVID. Go figure, go DeSantis.
Well, that's because you're not licking the benches after, Dan's mom uses it. You got to lick every bench after Dan's mom. That's how you gain. That's how you build your immune system.
Not Steve says, I'm in the People's Republic of Illinois where masks are never going away.
Well, at least you're going to get shot. There's more statistical reason to think you're going to get shot than actually get COVID.
Mickey White says, in Virginia, we didn't get mandates back because of the election. Then Glenn won, so I'm hoping they'll come back. It's been pretty normal here. But that's good to hear. I have not been to Virginia since September, so let's see how it ends up going. Also, Spencer pointed out, and this is also in the story that we were talking, we haven't actually had, the U.S. actually hasn't had a daily infection rate of under 10,000 COVID cases since March 2020, when the fucking pandemic began, Jay.
when they actually started counting it.
Yeah. It's
not gonna happen. Why do we still have this guy on TV? Like, that's what I don't understand. And it's really funny that there's a lot of people not defending Fauci as much as they did before. And it's a regret. And I'll say this again, and I say it almost every stream. We talk about this fucking snake piece of garbage, is that I regret defending him ever when he was starting this under Trump with the pandemic and when it was happening. I regret that shit.
Jay, it's okay.
I know it's okay.
Hindsight is 2020, man.
Right.
We all wanted to be on the same page, and we all wanted to think that everything was going to be okay, and that we were going to trust the science. But they abused our trust.
Yep.
They took it. They basically told us, and this is obviously, again, going back. I remember calling at the time as soon as they started saying that you could go out and protest after the death of George Floyd, even in the middle of a pandemic. I knew from then on that everything that they were saying was bullshit, because they had undermined all their credibility,
right,
and basically made it about politics, not about actual public health.
And they made it about critical race theory too. That's where they're saying, like, racism is a bigger epidemic or pandemic than COVID. So you can go and protest. Yes.
Does that really fall under the purview of critical race theory, though?
Well, yeah, because if they want to say that, you're looking at things through the eyes of race. So black people are dying. If black people are dying, it's because they're black. So it is it's a pandemic.
A pandemic. Pandemic means that it's across multiple continents. Epidemic would be that it's just constrained to our continent.
Right. So, the way I eat mother's asses is a pandemic, and the way you jerk off is an epidemic, because you do it throughout the whole state.
Exactly. Arnie Duncan here. Arnie Duncan, the former education secretary. Again, former education secretary under President Obama. He was actually probably the longest serving cabinet member of the Obama administration. I think before he left, maybe in like 2015, 2016, right before transition to the Trump administration. Arnie Duncan responding to this New York Times tweet that says, Austria has announced a targeted lockdown for unvaccinated adults and minors over age 11 amid a surge of COVID-19 infections in the country. It is believed to be one of the first national lockdowns directed at the unvaccinated. So you got precedent right there. Arnie Duncan responding to that says, if You a danger. Again, education secretary, typo in the first 2 words. What the fuck, man? If you a danger to yourself and others, you must remain at home. If you aren't, you are free to roam around the country. Austria is onto something. What is some type of dystopian, uneducated bullshit is this, Jay?
Right. It's absolute garbage. It's authoritarian garbage. Like the way that these people are talking about this type of stuff, and then they're cheering it on when they thought that Trump saying fake news to somebody was going to bring on to the dictatorship of Nazism is astonishing to me. It really is. Yeah. It's like 100% flip of everything that they were saying under Trump. And Trump wasn't even doing half this type of shit that they're praising. To praise the fact that, we're going to force unvaccinated people to stay home forever is just absolute bonkers to me. How can you be a public official thinking that this is any way appropriate to cheer on?
Dude, I have no idea. I mean, everything about the COVID lockdowns, if you are still on lockdown now, then for one, I can't say for a fact that there's something wrong with you, because ultimately people got to obey the law. But I will say, if there's still lockdowns in place in parts of the country, obviously, and people have not like woken up to that fact that it's a power trip and it has nothing to do with public health, then I'd say they're pretty much lost and gone forever. Because at that point, like if you are so willingly giving up your rights and your freedoms to prevent the spread of a disease that ultimately doesn't have as high of a mortality rate as some other diseases that could probably do a lot worse. Again, people are just only responding to fear. And I feel like we're sort of living in like a post 9/11 world where, like, Jay, you and I just walk, well, not me, but you walk down the street and it'd be like, oh, 9/11's happening. 9/11 2.0 is happening.
Every time I walk it down. But I mean, it goes to show, like, a lot of people, they want to be ruled, and they want it's not like they want to be. They want
state. They put too much.
Exactly. They want to give responsibility off. They don't want responsibility for themselves, because then they can't blame something else when their life goes to shit. When they're staying at home with 17 cats and not going outside without a mask. It's you choose to live your life that way. Nobody's making you live your life that way. And then you're going to blame the state for when you realize your life is just as shit as fucking possible. Because the world outside is pretty great, man. It's not bad out there. The weather's great. It's pretty good.
It's down here in Florida.
There's a bunch of ass to eat. I mean, Jesus.
Spencer, get in here. You got something?
Where's Eliza? Well, you should bring up the face swap, one that they did. That was so fucking scary, the way that they did the face swap. And to be fair, I do look good in purple hair. I mean, I do. And I don't know why it made me look thinner. Like, it made me look thinner, and then it ballooned her up looking like a genie.
I have no words for that face swap.
Right.
I'm hoping we can get to it, because it is absolutely.
It's that scary. It is. But
Eliza Blue, for those of you who are not familiar, Eliza Blue is a friend of the show. She has been on the show a couple times already. Human trafficking survivor, great advocate for survivors of human trafficking, and I would have to say fairly based is the word.
I think very based, and the queen of dunking on Siraj.
Yeah,
that's exactly what it is.
Dragging me pretty hard. Especially if you have that, it should be on my timeline on Twitter.
And also, she's actually at the Blaze doing a podcast, I think right now, with what's his name?
It was Elijah Schaefer and Sydney Watson. So while Spencer tries to find that,
but she's definitely going to be on the show again.
Oh, for sure. Rachel says, Habibis, I'm here, just not typing FY because I just spilled a whole S container of soup all over my carpet, like the whole thing. Well,
the whole ass?
We do enjoy ass containers.
Yes, whole ass is my type of thing.
Not 1%, not 2%.
But the whole thing, it's spilled over.
There it is.
Jesus
There's the
fucking
face
Christ.
Oh God, it's so bad.
Why does Jay work and he just looks like a California leftist?
It does.
Yo, look at that.
Oh my God.
Beard. Yo, look at
that neck beard is insane. Should I do it? Should I do a neck beard next? Should I do a neck beard next? Just how that is freaky as shit. That is the scariest thing ever. Holy fuck.
Amazing.
Now we had to see it, so now all of you guys have to see it as well and get fucking. Exactly. But it's so true. I do look like a fucking California leftist.
Yeah.
In that with a 5 o'clock shadow.
Yeah. Anyways. So the subject of our episode, Habibis on trials, because there actually have been a lot of pretty big trials happening this week. First of all, you have the Kyle Rittenhouse trial. And then secondly, you have the trial over the death of Ahmaud Arbery, in which 3 individuals are being tried for his death, particularly for his murder. That is Gregory McMichael, his son Travis McMichael, and their neighbor William Bryan. And those 3 were arrested after Jay. It's been so long, I'm forgetting facts about the case. This is like perfect. This is like perfect Streisand effect. The Travis McMichael, who is actually the son, who has been charged. There you go. You can see a photo of him right there. He is being charged with the one with pulling the trigger on Ahmaud Arbery, and he leaked the video of the body cam that his neighbor William Bryan had to try to make him and his father and neighbor look better. Now, if you haven't seen the video, I mean, we're not going to play it right here because obviously it's way too, disturbing. But that video itself led to charges being filed against the McMichaels and Bryan. I don't know how you fuck up that badly and shoot yourself in the foot, let's so to speak. No pun intended. God, what's wrong with me, Siraj? God damn it. Fuck. Why did I even say that? Jay.
Talking about bringing me places.
I know. I can't go anywhere. I really can't. Anyways, this trial in Georgia, and it's actually kind of interesting because the Kyle Rittenhouse trial and the trial of the McMichaels and William Bryan almost like run parallel to each other, because in both cases, the defense the argument of the defense is that they were acts of self-defense. There's video to prove, or at least video evidence to show whether it was self-defense or not. I think obviously in the 2 different cases, which are very similar, are again very different, because the Ahmaud Arbery case and his death, like that just looks like straight up like hunting. Murder. They were hunting him down, and they just fucking murdered him.
Right.
And then in the Kyle Rittenhouse case, like, yes, Kyle Rittenhouse had a AR-15 or whatever rifle on him, and apparently the main argument there is that Jay, he crossed state lines. He had no business being there.
Oh my God!
That's obviously bull. Well, again, this is like the type of narrative that they want you to believe and eat up. Is that Kyle Rittenhouse shot people of color? He shot Black people specifically I think most people don't know he actually, of the 3 people he shot, that all of them were white.
All 3 of them.
All 3 of them were white. He was chased after by one of them. What was it? Jason Rosenbaum? Or is it Jacob Rosenbaum?
Yes. Rosenbaum.
Chased him into a parking lot.
Pedo rapist.
Lunged for his gun. And that's when Kyle Rittenhouse shot and killed him. And apparently that is like the sort of like the barrier right there. So like if on that particular count, if they could find that Kyle Rittenhouse acted in self-defense, then it basically paves the rest of the way for his case that he probably won't face murder charges for the following one, and then at least aggravated assault for
he shouldn't.
Man he wounded. So,
in my opinion, he really should. But before we get into the Kyle Rittenhouse case, I just find it very, very fascinating and odd how little coverage the Ahmaud Arbery case is taking, because it is almost everything they're claiming Kyle to have done.
Yeah, no, the narrative.
But in actuality, that is the trial. That is
the real fact. That is the real fact. Like, that's plain as day. Like that is like straight up. Like
what is happening?
Racism can happen without violence, but this was like an act. Like there is more reason to believe that this was an actual hate crime, a targeted hate crime,
than what's happening over at Kyle. Like they want the Kyle Rittenhouse case to be the Ahmaud Arbery case without reporting on the Ahmaud Arbery case, because all of the facts already, it's not newsworthy. It's not going to be a shock and awe. They can't do these fake claims of saying he had no business to be there, he shouldn't have been there, all of this stupid fucking garbage, because they want to blame some sort of face, some sort of person for the actual damage and the actual fucking hardships that the Kenosha riots and the Minnesota riots in general did to the people in those communities, and they want to blame it on Kyle. And I find it like this is my counter to any fucking coward, and they're cowards. Tom bitched at Nicole's, David French. These people are fucking cowards. When they come and say that the kid had no business being there, you can go fuck yourself. It doesn't matter. You can say he had no business there. You can go fuck yourself. He had every right, every business, every mindset of his self to be there if he wanted to be there, and also to be armed if he wanted to be armed while he went down there. And you saying he had no business to be there can just suck a fat fucking dick. You can suck all 3 inches of my dick.
So, yeah, and I agree with you, Jay, because, again, if you're going to use the argument that Kyle had no right to be there, what gives, like, members of Antifa, what gives these protesters burning shit down, what gives them the right to be there, right? I mean, like, they have no business being there. Mm-hmm. They're burning businesses down, throwing bricks through business windows. I mean, like, they're burning cars, they're burning dumpsters. I mean, you're telling me that Kyle Rittenhouse, who goes in there, he is armed, and again, 17 years old, but apparently, I guess he understands the law better than most people, because I think he's a naive teenager, but that's besides the point. That he's not on trial for being a naive teenager.
Mm-hmm.
He had a rifle, which was perfectly legal for him to have. If he had, say, a sidearm, if he had a pistol or a Glock or something like that, then it would be considered illegal, which would have completely undone everything that had in its case. But Wisconsin state law stipulates that anyone under the age of 18 can have a firearm, or they can't have a firearm unless it's a rifle or a shotgun. So,
and that's probably why, and I think he does, and I think he did know a little bit more about those laws. I mean, certainly when you see some of the exchanges he has with the prosecution, it showcases that he has a little bit of knowledge.
There's so many different aspects of this case, Jay, that I want to highlight here. First of all, I didn't mean to cut you off, but you go ahead.
No, you're fine. I was just going to say is like what you were saying. It's sad that you had the politicians and you had these authoritative figures do nothing about the riots. You had it to a point where people had to think that they need to be there to save their communities, because the economic ramifications of those areas they will not rectify anywhere between 20 to 60 years because of the damage made. And it's not like he crossed into a random city or anything. He has family there that you wouldn't have known that during reporting and stuff.
He works there.
Exactly. But you don't think that he crossed state lines. Yeah. And this is coming from reporters that live in New York and go to DC every other fucking day and shit. Like, it's
I was just gonna say, like, Jay, it's like, because like when I lived in the DC area, I lived in Virginia, but I crossed state lines to go visit my parents in Maryland for that last year before I moved. Like, if I get arrested in Maryland for something that like Kyle Rittenhouse was accused of doing, that argument would totally be used on me. It'd be like, Siraj is crossing state lines. He had no business being there. Mm-hmm. I fucking worked in Maryland. My parents live in Maryland. Like, it's not here nor there. But
it's a stupid argument that they make. It's so stupid. And it's made by the people who have lives just like you and Rittenhouse have in the DC area. It's just it's so fucking mind-boggling.
Yeah, I also have to say that one thing. All right, so Wisconsin State Legislature, possession of a dangerous weapon by a person under 18. This is from Spencer. Thank you, Spencer, for the plug. Says this section applies only to a person under 18 years of age who possesses or is armed with a rifle or shotgun if the person is in violation of this particular law. So I don't know if that gives us any more clarity, but whatever. Gerard 419 says, but
Spencer,
Kyle brought a gun to a fist fight, big boy.
Right.
I have to say this one. There are a couple things. There are a couple things that are weird. So one, the judge, Bruce Schroeder. Okay, Bruce Schroeder. He is. I don't know what to make of him, okay? Because I don't know if he's being unprofessional in some way, shape, or form. His phone went off in the middle of the hearing, and it was the ringtone, I think, of I don't know if it was God Bless America or something like that.
Yes. Like, God Bless America.
It was something like that.
It's so good.
Everybody assumed he was a Trump supporter. This guy's a Democrat for one. He's been a Democrat his entire life. He has run in his
appointed by
judicial
Obama.
Court district unopposed since when, Jay? When? You want to hear the year?
Tell me.
1984. He has been on the Wisconsin Circuit Court since 1984. Nobody has ever run against him in that period of time. In almost 40 years, Jay. No one has run against him. Literally zero.
So basically, Blake.
He's basically Blake by.
Oh, Blake by. That took me a second. I was like, "Oh, what the fuck are we talking about now?"
But it's so funny. But now, I mean, you can't. It's so funny. Like, honestly, this may be a little bit overboard, but I think it's almost right there. Is that you can't even be a Democrat now and be proud to be an American, to have any kind of like American flag, to have the USA on your phone. Like, you can't have any of that kind of stuff and be a Democrat anymore. I mean, before it was. I mean. It's just, and the progression is so quick in the Democratic Party now. Like, if you're pro-life, you can't be a Democrat. That's it. You can't. That's over. You cannot be a Democrat if you're not pro-choice. And then now it's like you have American flag. You can't be a Democrat. It's over. You can't do it. You can't show being proud of your country. And it's one thing Timcast was saying was like how far left a lot of the Democrats have gone. That has so surpassed like his liberal views, Joe Rogan, and all that kind of stuff, compared to most people on the right. It's like it's gone so far left that you can't even be proud of your own country. That they'll call him a white supremacist because he had this ringtone on his fucking thing. And you have people like Wedget who pretend like they are the arbiters of what it is to be proud of your country, coming in and calling them a white supremacist and shit. It's fucking ridiculous to me. It's so fucking sick.
Rico Roca says it's because they know Rittenhouse will/should get off, and they want riots for ratings, just like the Joker controversy rioting/bloodshed equals dollars. Well, actually, interestingly enough, before we actually went live, maybe an hour or two before we went live, we got word that the Rittenhouse jury is sort of like adjourned for the day. After 16 hours of deliberation, they'll reconvene tomorrow, 9 a.m. Central. And what is striking to me, Jay, is the fact that when it comes to this particular case, it almost seems like the jury is intimidated to come to a verdict of anything but guilty on the most serious offenses because they fear that the entire city of Kenosha is a powder keg and it's going to fucking explode with riots if Rittenhouse walks.
It could. And that is to me, grounds of a mistrial in of itself because of how it was been influenced by people in the media, how it's been influenced that writers are threatening and people are threatening to burn shit down if verdict comes out not guilty. And it's not coming out just from randos on Twitter either. It's coming out from a lot of Joy Reid is up there saying that if he gets off, it's because of white supremacy. For fuck's sake, on national TV and shit. It's not randos anymore. It's not your grandmother on fucking Facebook and shit. Like the real issue here is the corporate media and how they're influencing even jurors' feelings.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. And that, kind of going back to the Ahmaud Arbery case, the reason that's taken so long, they've had to change prosecutors they're on their fourth prosecutor right now. Or I'm sorry, they're on the fourth prosecutor right now because of a conflict of interest, because Gregory McMichael was a police detective for like 30 plus years. So he's had a relationship with a number of these prosecutors.
Oh,
so they have to recuse themselves. And when it comes to the jury, there have been some complaints with respect to the Ahmaud Arbery, the trial of the death of Ahmaud Arbery, is that they're actually it's not diverse enough. There are only like 2 black jurors, and the reason for that is because too many people know the facts of the case. So this is the problem. I think this is sort of like a societal problem and almost something that like actually at a point starts to backfire on the movement, is that when you have these criminal proceedings going forward and you have to select a jury of your peers, most of them are using social media in some way, shape, or form. It's very rare that you find someone who's actually not on social media and has no idea what's going on. And that's the problem with the jury, is that they have to find people who are basically like newborn babies. Like they just have no idea what's going on in the world. And they just hope that they're not tainted by anything with respect to the news or social media. And I mean, the reason why the charges were brought forward against the McMichaels and William Bryan, in large part, was because of social media. And so if you're ever on there and you've seen the facts of the case, it's like pretty strong likelihood you'll never get selected for the final jury round because you already know too much, or you've already made up your mind, and so you can't be an impartial juror.
Right, and it's a very difficult situation. A lot of people are seeing, and while we're getting into this day and age of, quick and very accessible media. To everybody. Like you don't even have to be in the same city and you'll know what's going on. Before that would never have happened. If I would have had to go up to a case in Sacramento, being down in SoCal, I wouldn't know really what that was or what happened or anything like that before. But now with social media, I'll know exactly what's going on and what happened.
Yeah, Jeffrey Walker says an unfrozen caveman juror. JD Locke with the used to be a caveman, but now he's a juror. Unfrozen caveman juror. Is that a song? That's got to be a song.
No, it's not. It's a skit.
Is it a bit? It's a skit.
It's a bit.
Okay.
I think it's Mad TV. I think it's Mad TV or SNL.
Augustus says it's an SNL skit. Phil Hartman.
Yeah, Phil Hartman. Yeah, it's pretty fucking. It's not bad. It's pretty good. And talking about SNL, man, holy shit, SNL is so shit. It's unwatchable. It's unwatchable. It's so sad.
So another aspect of this McMichael trial is the fact that one of the defense attorneys. And this is just like a weird aside because it obviously has a lot of attention. And it has a lot of attention for black pastors like Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton. This motherfucker, this defense attorney, says we have too many black pastors in here. Can you please remove them? They're going to intimidate the jury. I shit you not, Jay. Well, first of all, he was reprimanded by the judge. But secondly, who the fuck says that? Like, people are like
so bad.
Like, if you're focusing on black pastors,
what are you doing? Right? What were you touching? I'm sorry.
Oh, I was scratching right here.
Oh, lower.
I'm just trying to get into the mindset of a defense attorney who's like, you know what, we're losing too much, or we're definitely losing this. Let's just focus on fucking Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson and try to get.
You know what? Our side didn't seem racist enough. Let me step in here.
Absolutely.
Excuse me, Judge. There are too many black faces here. Can we please? Jesus Christ, man! It's fucking ridiculous.
On top of all these charges.
It's a close case, man. No, I was going to say it's a close case for Ahmaud Arbery. It's close. It has to be. The justice needs to be served.
The McMichaels.
Yeah,
that's the thing. That's the problem. Jay, this is the problem. We all know, and now I'm blurry. We all know Kyle Rittenhouse's name. Okay, not enough people know that the people who are on trial in the death of Ahmaud Arbery, they don't know their names, and I'm fully blurry.
Right.
Gregory McMichael and Travis McMichael and William Bryan. Yeah, everybody refers it to as the Ahmaud Arbery trial. Like, Ahmaud Arbery's not on trial,
right?
And I feel like that's like baked in, and to try to, for like SEO purposes, search engine optimization for all the boomers out there like myself. That in order,
I don't think you've ever been more blurry than you are right now. Like, exactly. That is not to say. Jesus, and it goes to the point of Jake Tapper. It's because you all are racist. The media is not reporting on it the way that they should because, I'm sorry, Siraj, you're racist.
Facts only, right?
You're racist for them not reporting the facts of the case or diligent enough for people to understand or see it or know it as well as the fucking Kyle Rittenhouse case. And the thing is, they know lies about the Kyle Rittenhouse case better than they know the truths about the Ahmaud Arbery case. That's the sickness about it. There was a tweet. I forget who tweeted it, but it's one of those guys from Newsbusters on the news reporter for CNN. He's the same guy who was at the Kenosha riots who was saying like there's nothing to see here and there's like flames behind him.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And he came up and he said 4 falsehoods about the fucking thing as if they were true. 4 falsehoods right off the bat. And then we're supposed to sit here and say that Facebook is the problem? Fuck, man, these people just drive me off the wall and they piss me the fuck off. They really do, because they do this with such righteous indignation that it sickens me. Like I want to go up and spit on their mothers' faces for raising such pieces of shit. That goes to your mother, Brian Stelter. I spit on her asshole before I stick potatoes in it.
Frostbite says, did you guys see that 2 of Malcolm X's assassins are going to free? We did see that. So that's actually, I have that pulled up right here. The 1966 convictions of 2 men, Muhammad Aziz and Khalil Islam, who maintained their innocence but were convicted on the testimony of several eyewitnesses. There actually was no physical evidence against them, but there have been long-held doubts about their role in the assassination of Malcolm X. For one, each of them has spent more than 20 years in prison. Their exoneration represents a remarkable acknowledgement of grave errors made in the case of towering importance, the 1965 murder of one of America's most influential Black leaders. Now, they actually had a 22-month investigation conducted jointly by the Manhattan District Attorney's Office and lawyers for the two men. They found that prosecutors in two of the nation's premier law enforcement agencies, the FBI and the New York Police Department, withheld key evidence that it had been turned over, and it would have likely led to their acquittal in the beginning. So,
oh my God.
I just wonder, Jay, does that just basically seal the deal that the FBI basically assassinated Malcolm X? Because
that's what I'm thinking. I mean, they're so like that. They've probably honestly, they probably got the passports for the people who who flew planes into 9/11. They probably started to rile up people for January 6th. They probably and they were caught red-handed trying to do a kidnapping of the governor, for fuck's sake. Like, holy shit! How like
and then
don't forget the
organization of the insurrection. Don't forget the organization of the insurrection. I'm sure they're behind that too.
Right. I'm almost certain of it. I swear to God. I think Osama bin Laden himself knew how to say FBI before he said Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah and threw the fucking planes into the building. Like, I'm serious, man. Like, holy fuck. The more we see that stuff coming out, and it's insane because, like, before we had access to information the way that we do now, any questions like that would be Alex Jones level, like you're a fucking nut job. And now it's more like, holy shit, Alex Jones was probably like, no, is our Notre Dame, is our what's it called? Modern day Notre Dame compared to what was going on before. It's fucking insane. It's just so crazy. It's oh my God. And also I drank half a bottle already.
Of course you did, Jay. Mickey White
I'm 3 days in and only like 4 hours of
Jay, you need to go on a fucking detox is what you need to go on. Mickey White says, so the conspiracy theorists are right. Yeah, what is that saying now about it? Actually, the time frame gets shorter. It's like, what's the difference between conspiracy theory and the truth? It's like about 6 months. Now it's about 3 months. It's probably turning into
right. And it's just dwindling down more and more. And also, just so you know, Siraj, I haven't said Bismillah once throughout these 3 days. So I'm getting shaitan as shit-faced as I am right now.
I'll pray for you, Habibi. I'll pray for
I'm doing it for the battle of good and evil. Whose liver is going to fail first, mine or Shaitan's? Let's find out.
Speaking of failing, Jay, you know who really is feeling sort of like they're set up for failure?
Well, other than us in front of our dads?
Well, obviously, Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris is now currently feeling the heat of being kind of hung out to dry by the Biden administration. I don't know if you've seen the CNN report. It's actually quite juicy.
It is, as you would say, very
juicy. Very, very juicy. Now, it is a long report. I'm not going to go through all of it, but basically, it seems to be almost entirely sourced by Kamala Harris's team. But it almost feels like exclusively like a Veep episode in which basically you have a vice president sort of air their grievances and complaints about what they're being tasked to do. Because
and it makes her, and it still makes her look worse.
Oh, I agree, 100%.
Right? It was like it was trying to make her look good, or like the victim, or Miskeen, or whatever, and it just made her look worse, even more unlikable.
And it's one of those things, Jay, where I'm wondering, like, why did they even pick her to begin with? And
it's
one thing,
pink vagina.
Well, yeah, I mean, Democrats wouldn't have done that, but like, I'm trying to think. Do you think? I'm honestly thinking, if it had not been for everything that happened in Minnesota with George Floyd, do you think Amy Klobuchar would have been the pick instead?
Honestly, it could have been, and I think that was her downfall. Was what happened right there.
Fucking Minnesota.
being in Minnesota, a senator in Minnesota, and when that should happen. She was the senator, right?
She's still the senator from Minnesota.
And then that shit happened, really just hit the nail in the coffin. But I still think there were more viable people to pick other than Kamala Harris, because every time she speaks, like, first of all, it's not chalkboard on a blackboard. That's chalk on or nails on a chalkboard.
You mean nails on a chalkboard?
That's not what it is. It's chalk up your penis hole when she talks. That's how annoying it is. It's not nails on a chalkboard. It's chalk up your penis hole when she speaks. That's the level of annoyance that she is every time she talks. There's no genuine voice. There's no genuine demeanor. There's nothing about her that looks
Just
sincere
and cackling.
Right. You know what I mean? There's a very small percentage of people that can relate to getting on their knees and sucking people off to get far ahead as they can with her. That's not the everyday working American.
I mean, I do that, Jay. I mean, how do you think I got all these followers? I sucked each and every one of them off. Oh my God. Anyways, one of the things I thought was interesting about this is the fact that Kamala Harris is actually one of the first vice presidents that actually has less Washington experience than the president. Did you know that, Jay?
I did not.
Fairly interesting. In any event,
there's one line in this report though that I fucking loved, that I highlighted.
Which one is that?
And it says it was going on, and it goes, she's a heartbeat away from the presidency now. And I couldn't help but fucking laugh my ass off on it, because they're counting the heartbeats until Biden dies for her to be the president. That's what it sounds like to me when I was reading it. She's only a heartbeat away. Yes, we know. The guy is like probably gonna die in the next fucking 6 months. I'm surprised he got this far. Goddamn.
Yeah, Jay, you've basically.
But that was my favorite line out of the whole thing. She's a heartbeat away from the presidency now. We know what you're saying.
That's bland. It says Siraj After Hours, Glory Hole Edition. No lies told. In any event, we'll see what ends up happening. I mean, the fact that you now have Jen Yazaki. I don't know if you have that tweet on hand, Spencer, if you could pull it up, but Jen Psaki basically tweeting out how, like, I don't know who needs to hear this, but like, or for whoever needs to hear this, like, and it was Harris, the vice president, is like cherished in love.
I don't know who needs to hear this at 12 a.m. on a Sunday.
Yeah. Haley Sayenko says everyone knows exactly why she was picked, and even if you're a Democrat giving her lip service, you know it's not right. Even Democrats hate her. I mean, she, again, people tried to make this about being, and even in the CNN piece, they said like, oh, most of the criticism about her is racist or sexist. Like, look, even Democrats didn't vote for her because she dropped out with a very low approval rating even before the very first votes were cast. She didn't even drop out in 2020. She dropped out in 2019 in December.
Yes.
So,
and with less than 1% of the vote, I think it was barely like 2%. But the thing remains then you're saying that the whole Democratic Party is racist. That's who are racist. It's the whole Democratic Party that is racist and sexist, because they're the ones who didn't pick her to be the front runner as president. They picked an old white man.
All right. So Jen Yazaki says, for anyone who needs to hear this, or needs to hear it, VP is not only a vital partner of the POTUS, but a bold leader who has taken on key important challenges facing the country, from voting rights to addressing root causes of migration to expanding broadband. Yeah, we got the Pakistan, we got the Indian IT girl working on the internet right now. We got the one person of Indian lineage working on the fucking IT for the fucking boomer president. It was actually not a boomer; it was like part of the silent generation, but still.
Silent generation, man. I think it's even before that.
Yeah. Not, yeah, I mean, Stone Age, Bill. Anyways, a number of other things happened with Biden administration. First of all, OSHA. I don't actually know what OSHA stands for. Let's look that up. Do you know what it stands for?
I don't.
Occupational Safety and Health Administration. That OSHA.
Oh yeah, they should definitely have all the rights possible to shut down your business for sure. Yeah. That sounds like exactly what needs to happen.
So OSHA has suspended implementation and enforcement of Biden's unconstitutional vax mandate for private sector employees pending the outcome of litigation against the real.
Where are you reading that?
This is from Ben Shapiro's.
Okay, Ben Shapiro, of course, because you're not going to have MSNBC or CNN call it what it is, which is an unconstitutional vaccine mandate. You wouldn't have that. So that's why I was just curious where you were.
Yeah, no, that was Ben Shapiro tweeting that out because the Daily Wire has basically been making a legal challenge against the vaccine mandate because they have more than 100 employees. Jesus, sorry. So yeah, we'll see what happens, but Ben continues to tweet out. This means if you're a private sector employer who has been working to comply with Biden's mandate under threat of government coercion, stop. There is no mandate currently in effect for you. Don't make it easy for them. Fight. So,
right, and that's exactly the mentality and the way that you need to do it because there's nothing they're going to be able to do about it. There's zero. They're not going. OSHA is not going to come over to these companies and stuff and arrest people or throw them in jail or fine them. If they fine you, don't pay it.
But just imagine if they did. You got like the feds not in FBI jackets but in OSHA jackets, basically.
OSHA,
just busting people, knocking them up the side of the head. God,
it's fucking hilarious. And we knew it was overreach the moment he announced that he was going to use OSHA in order to push this vaccine mandate. And what's really hilarious, what is fucking amazing, is all of these people who are scared about norms, who are scared about authoritarianism and all of this type of absolute garbage bullshit under Trump. Because when Biden said businesses should ignore the courts and go ahead with our mandates, not one of them came out against it. You didn't have Max Boot tweeting or coming out with an opinion piece saying that our democracy is over. You didn't have bitch tit fucking Tom Nichols saying anything about it. You didn't none of that kind of stuff. It just goes to show the grift that they play is absolutely obvious. And luckily, these people get nowhere further than a CNN hit piece or Twitter retweet. That's where they go. And Tom Nichols, I mean, God bless him, because his mother was the biggest gabba ever in existence. And he learned from her to go off and suck off dicks like Joy Reid's dick, Chris Hayes' dick, all of these other guys' dick in order to get onto their programs to just voice how much of a bitch tit he is. And at least out of us three, that's making one parent proud.
Oh my God, Jay.
Oh, Jesus.
Jay, be best, okay? In the words
Essentially.
of Melania Trump, be best. But you know what? We also have to build back better.
We got infrastructure passed in the House. Time for build back better. That's what I'm about. So, Mr. President, Madam Speaker, House Democrats, let's do this. Let's do this. I'm a bill with critical and historic investments in child care, health care, climate care, immigration, and more. And it's all paid for. So come on, let's do this. You better pass me.
God, that is just fucking beautiful.
It's the cringe of the cringe. Absolute cringe of the cringe.
Says this is a war crime. That's true. It is.
It really fucking is. It's so bad.
No, it's not. It's beautiful. It's great. I love it. I just love that I love the fact that almost everything, every policy initiative now is tied to some sort of song.
Oh yeah, that's so true. Like from the vaccines to this to like critical race theory to like pronouns, all that kind of stuff. They probably have. We could probably find it. Let's
here. Oh, I think I found
search
it.
for it.
Got the vaccine, you got the vaccine, they got the vaccine, we got the vaccine. We can get back to normal, let me inform you, let's all get the vaccine. It's about community immunity. I'm talking unity for you and me. If Doc says it's good, then trust me, it's good. Now let's all get the vaccine. Alright, there is none higher. DMC, I will inspire. Time for us to trust and not debate. The vaccine, believe it's safe to take. 9 out of 10 people won't get sick. That's 90% effective and legit. This COVID thing is real and it will find you. It's killing our people. Let me remind you. Back in the days, there was polio, smallpox. Back in the days, measles and mumps, man. Back in the days, but because of the vaccines, none of those stays. Vaccines, they work to trigger immunity. 2 shots, we got antibody security. We gotta act now. No need to wait. Get your vaccine before it's too late. For real.
Suck dick.
Never gets old.
It's the best. It's the best. It's what got you famous.
And
For
the monetization, yeah.
And what was really funny is like we made a decision. We were all sitting down. We were like, you know what? We're not going to play it anymore because seriously, we're not going to do it. And they were like, you know what? Fuck it. We're going to do it. We're going to do it only when somebody pays us $69. We're going to do it. And then we just do it for free.
No, we just fucking do it.
That's what we are. We're those type of people. Generous type of people. Because we're family.
Because we're family, exactly. Speaking of family, time to get the president. I'll be right back.
Go do it. Let's see it. I like how he gets unfuzzy when he shows his ass. So he's gonna go get fuzzy. As he does that, I will be reading some questions. Twith knows what the people want. And everybody wants earn.
Here he is.
Everybody wants earn.
El Presidente.
Always.
Hey, bud. All right. You can hear me okay, yes? Jay?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, I thought my AirPods went out. Okay. So our president is here. Spencer, you mind pulling up that tweet?
R. Malik. I'm seriously amazed that I have drank this much alcohol. No, I'm seriously amazed because I woke up today having to fly back from Dallas to California. Totally fine. Totally okay. And I really do think that it is my like Irish German side of the family, and then my Leviant side of the family. So I'm 100%
essentially.
Oh fuck. Like I probably have the liver of a god. I say this now 2 years later. I'm like, Siraj, can you give me a liver transplant? Siraj, please.
Fucking liver cirrhosis.
You put your name up for fucking Mujahd's daughter. Like, can you give me fucking something?
I mean, Jay, I would give you my liver in a heartbeat.
Oh, Habibi, I love you so much.
Yeah, so you could destroy it with fucking Angel's Envy.
There's another one.
I don't know why the screen's glitching out. It looks like Spencer's has a boomer-esque computer. But Sarah Jung, who actually, I don't know if she's still with the New York Times, but at least to this point.
I mean, that's what she has on her fucking
still
thing.
Has New York Times. But Sarah Jung coming out with this tweet that is getting ratioed into oblivion. Writes, all the stuff you see about inflation in the news is driven by rich people flipping their shit because their parasitic assets aren't doing as well as they'd like. And they're scared that unemployment benefits plus stimmy checks plus 15 minimum wage plus labor shortage is why. I don't know what GMT is, but Jay.
GMT just means, I'm announcing that I am the daughter of a fucking whore and a commie piece of shit. Because the thing is like, when you tweet stuff like this is the equivalent of somebody farting and sniffing it and being like, "Oh, that was a good thought."
Yeah.
Because right here, stocks are all-time high.
Spencer informs this boomer, as in me, that JMT means just my thoughts.
Okay, so just your thoughts are just letting everybody know that you're a commie whore, because stocks are all-time high. Crypto is an all-time high. Real estate is an all-time high. The assets of rich people are at an all-time high. While working class people go in and ask for a raise and don't get at least 10%, aren't making any more money than they did the year before. Everyone else is making fucking bank right now because of these all-time highs. And that's the reason why you're seeing people, billionaires like Elon Musk, selling billions of dollars of their stock.
Well,
you think it was a Twitter poll that really was like, "Oh, I'm going to sell it because of the Twitter poll"? No, because they see it where it is right now and where they're going to get the most benefit from. These billionaires aren't crying over inflation. They're not getting bothered by it. It is the working class people that are.
Prices, right?
And Bhatia brings a great point up when it comes to the journalist class. They speak in terms that are supposed to be like well educated, and in terms that are supposed to be above the head of the working class, that they're missing the real issue. Because they're supposed to be here for the working class. They're supposed to be here for the party of the people, the party of the working class, all that kind of stuff. But they use the language that is not being relatable. These things are not relatable to the working class person, because she's talking about rich people assets when working class people are talking about it was $2.17 a year ago for a gallon of milk, and now it's $3.90.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the terms that really matter to the most, to the general public of the people.
Or a gallon of gasoline,
Exactly that too. Yes.
Scott buys his assets, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Frostbite also says, Siraj, by the way, I looked at an inflation calculator the other day, and the rate is now 6.9%. Not nice, but nice.
No, it's nice, but I mean, not nice. Habibis, please subscribe to our Patreon. Inflation is a nice amount right now.
Oh my god. Man. So people, so I've seen that one type of tweet from Sarah Jung we just highlighted. Another one is that it's not that we are that inflation is actually happening. It's that the media is reacting to inflation happening, which is basically causing the panic. I can't remember where I saw that. But I've seen so many garbage tweets, I just kind of lose track. They all just sort of bleed together.
No, they do, because some of them
happens when you make the list.
All bad takes just bleed together as one bad take. Yeah. Oh, this one right here. This motherfucker. This motherfucker. This piece of fucking shit. This guy right here is why I jihad. Right here. This motherfucker right here. Like, if there was a face of a person that made you want to spit on their mother, it would be Brian Stelter. If there was a voice that made you want to kick the father's balls so he wouldn't have any more kids, it's Brian Stelter's voice. This is this person right here. This motherfucker right here is a complete, utter piece of dog shit.
This is actually a great dovetail into the segment that we want to bring up, and that is dumb shit of the week. This is our first
the first one.
Can I just highlight this real quick?
Yes.
We actually had Ben help us on this. So Ben Morrissey, the list turn, is now, I guess the kind of dipping his pen in Habibi Power Hour production. But pull up that tweet again one more time, Spencer, real quick. I just want to share for the Habibis one more time. Just read it out loud. That this is the first dumb ass tweet of the week, or the just dumb shit of the week. Brian Stelter tweets out, "The supply chain," she exclaims, looking for milk for a 2-year-old. "Look at this amazing overflowing abundance," he responds. Again, Jay, supply chain issues. I don't know why he only focuses on milk. It's like, that one, I think it was Josh Campbell from CNN, tweeting out last summer during the Portland, unrest in, August and September of 2020, saying, he was enjoying a breakfast burrito in Portland, and, he just took a photo and just posted.
Oh, yeah, it was Josh Campbell.
Yeah, there wasn't a single building on fire, and he's like, "Seems to be okay over here."
He's at the park where a lake is, where no buildings are around. He's this is totally fine. Yeah, and it's
Portland's off the fucking Portland's fucking great right now.
And I just have to say, Brian Stelter, if you're listening, and I hope you are, you raised a stupid fucking 2-year-old, because the supply chain of milk doesn't come from overseas, and it doesn't come from the ports. You fucking motherfucking idiot. You fucking dumbass. You fucking piece of shit. You idiot. You fucking... Okay, I'm sorry.
By the way, Campbell deleted the tweet, so the tweet doesn't exist anymore. But I'll find a picture of it.
I'm pretty sure I have a screen. I'm sure I have a screenshot.
But it's just so fucking funny that they will announce and showcase and voice that their children are idiots for their own fucking virtual singling, because it's not their kid who's doing this. It's him and his wife who are fucking idiots, because their 2-year-old is not saying the supply chain. They don't know what the fuck that means. But they want to try and pretend.
This is the woke, 5-year-old.
My woke 6-year-old. They want to try to pretend like they were the genius parents that raised a genius child, when they're just showcasing that they themselves are a fucking idiot, because no one believes a 2-year-old would say that kind of shit.
There's a tweet from Josh Campbell, if you can see it right there. It says, "Good morning from wonderful Portland, where the city is not under siege and buildings are not burning to the ground. I also ate my breakfast burrito outside today, and so far haven't been attacked by shadowy gangs of Antifa commandos."
These guys, they do it like that, and
just wild stuff.
It really is, because it insults your intelligence, and it does.
Gaslighting, straight up. It's gaslighting. It's like everything that you've seen over the past year, that CRT isn't a real thing, or it's too difficult to just riff off all of them, because there's so many. But whatever. Anyways, you got the next dumbass tweet of the week for us, Spencer. I'm gonna rely on Spencer to get these up. That's what she said. Our next candidate. I don't know if this was part of it, but it's okay. Greg McMichael. Oh yeah, this is another thing. Employers consider. Oh my God, I forgot this one. Gregory McKelvey tweets out, "Employers consider giving your black employees a day or two off after the
Oh my God.
Regardless of the outcome, it's going to be hard for black people to work, and it isn't fair to expect them to." Jay, every single time somebody tweets out this shit, I only think of that Ryan Long, Danny Polishuk comedy, that comedy sketch where the racist and the woke person agree on everything.
Yeah, they're the same person.
Yeah. I don't understand how people tweet this out thinking, king of the black people.
Yes, it's exactly. Oh my God, that's exactly how it feels, and how they feel. This is how they feel when they say shit like this. White liberals and white fucking socialist social justice garbage. And it's the bigotry of low expectations. It's the same thing when somebody says, criticizing Islam is going to make a Muslim fly a plane into 2 buildings.
I mean, that's basically where we're at. Yeah, that's the sketch.
It's such a good sketch. Honestly, if you guys haven't seen it before, these two guys are fucking hilarious. They really are.
What's funny is we had them on the show over a year ago, and the Habibis fucking hated them.
Yeah, they fucking hated it. But I think they're hilarious.
That was also before, Jay, that we figured out exactly how to have guests on
Habibi Power Hour. Yes. Because I mean, in all honesty, like Habibi Power Hour is for us and the Habibis. That's it.
Yeah.
And then we have other ways to put, other people on air as well.
Yeah. I think for us, and I like them both. I think for us, though, I think we were thinking about the big get. We were thinking about the actual content.
Yes.
That's what our folly was.
And Janice is like, they sucked as guests.
See, the BBs don't lie.
They give us their raw, 100% unfiltered opinions on shit, and they're not scared of it because they're like, I love it. I love you guys so much.
Yeah. What is the other dumb shit of the week? You got it for us, Spencer?
There are
in the meantime. Can you pull them up?
Go down them. Go down them.
Go through them. We start off with Stelter.
Don't put your face on here. Just go through them. Shit.
What? Why are you giving me these? What happened to Dr. Jack Brown, body language expert?
This is one of the other ones that are on there.
This is the other one. Oh, the city. Oh, okay. No, stay there, Spencer. God damn.
Stay right here. Yes.
Thomas Rick says, in fact, my presumption is that anyone tweeting that American cities burned last summer is either working for the Russians or a dumbass dupe of them. I don't know how. Again, this is another gaslighting thing. It's like the Josh Campbell tweet that we just saw, and the fact that
it's
again,
just
and it's not. Again, how the fuck is it that we came to this point where now, if you say that cities were burning last summer, you're now an instrument for the fucking Russians?
Yeah. What if I just post a video of them actually burning? Of the, not only that, you Thomas Ricks, who is a fucking whore, like, you have video of the aftermath of people of that community in tears, broken down, saying like, this, how am I supposed to get my milk? How am I supposed to get my clothes? How am I supposed to get what I'm supposed to get when this is burned down? I have to go 25, 30 miles. I don't have a car. What am I supposed to do? And this motherfucker wants to come and say that this is a Russian fucking thing. They're so far gone. They're so fucking deluded. They're so in their own fucking bubble within social media and their own like liberal circles that they don't understand the real life consequences of the shit that they are for or push or even say. It's just Jesus fucking Christ, these people.
What's next? What we got next, Spencer? DJ, hit me! Oh
no! We got to hear it in its entirety.
Can we have to hear it in its entirety?
Can we?
Can Spencer play it?
I don't. Whoa, where did it go?
If you can, great. If not, no big deal. I could try to play it on my end.
Fear factor, and now doctors fear me.
We can hear it, but yeah, we're on from the beginning.
Well, that's right. I used to host Fear Factor, and now doctors fear me.
Can you help me, Joe?
Oh, sure thing, Big Bird. You see, I took Carlos Mencia down. I could take COVID. Here's some zinc, and ayahuasca, and some horse medicine.
Well, why would a bird take horse medicine?
I'm a human, and I took horse medicine. And I'm speaking of things that are horse-like. Today's two sponsors are the letters S and D, as in I can S my own D.
This is what passes. This is what flies as comedy nowadays, apparently.
Well, at least on SNL, for fuck's sake. Like I find it a lot funnier hooking a car battery to my nipples and ball sack than watching a whole episode of SNL. That's more hilarious.
I mean, yeah, it is. Honestly, like I would love to see.
Yes,
it would. Writhing in pain from a car battery hooked to both your nipples and your ball sack.
The last thing that I found really funny on SNL is when they had that short, bald, ginger guy. What's his name? No. The guy who is whacking off in front of people. What's his name?
Mujahed Kobbe.
No, it's not Mujahed Kobbe because I'm not a ginger.
But you are short and bald.
I'm bald, but I'm not a ginger. Yes, I am bald. I'm very bald. Like my head is the shape of a dick that goes straight into your mother's pussy hole.
Oh, Louis C.K.
There you go. Thank you very much. It was Louis C.K. and he had his open monologue. Like this is where I find like how people are fearless with their comedy. Fucking fearless with their comedy. Why did the chicken cross the road? Because a black man was following him. He said this live on SNL. And he was like, and he goes, wait. He crossed the road because he was new in the city and he didn't know where to go and everything. And it's a racist chicken. The chicken was racist. Like the chicken is racist for thinking that he had to move there. Because when he crossed the road, he was thinking like if he crosses the road and the black man follows him, then the black man is following him. But he crossed the road and the black man just walked and the black man was living his life. The chicken was racist. And 3 months later, a black man was eating the chicken. But it was a different black man. It wasn't the same one. The moral of the story is the chicken was racist. like that type of stuff. Just it fucking killed. It killed me. It fucking killed me when I watched shit like that. And we don't have as many comedians like that anymore today. Like we don't have the Norm McDonald's. We don't have the Dave Chappelle's. We don't have the Louis C.K.'s. We don't have these people showcased as comedians. What we have is fucking this guy who is honestly, I think the guy is depressed as shit. I think he think his life his life is like absolute garbage and all that kind of stuff.
Hold on.
He lives.
Yo, how does Pete Davidson pull the type of talent he's pulling?
You mean as women? Like, how does he pull the women he pulls? He probably has a big dick. He probably does. Like, and the thing is like, he is the personality of somebody who's right on the edge, and women are like, I can change him. I can change. No. You're not going to change the guy. Let him step off the cliff because the world would be a better place without people like Pete Davidson. Just let him do it.
Oh my God.
It's not the inevitable. His whole existence is just shit. Oh my God.
It is pretty wild. It is pretty wild how Pete Davidson sort of like has gotten as far as he has. It's kind of sad. But anyways, man, what else we got? Spencer. Oh, look who it is. It's Daniel Whitmer.
Oh shit. This is the best. This is absolutely.
I hope Dan Whitmer's watching right now.
Oh my God, this is absolutely
Thank you, Josh, for this idea. I'm just saying.
Josh was the one who brought it up. This is absolutely dumb shit of the week. This is great. This is great. I mean, if we find different Habibis with different posts on Instagram, randomly, we should post them. I love it. I fucking love it. And I'm going to go right over here right now and be like, get at everyone on Discord.
Amazing. Just amazing. Hey, Ernie's finally smiling.
I want to make sure they see this.
Make sure he sees it. I hope he sees this, King.
Joshin, absolutely amazing. Honestly, Joshin, this is beautiful.
Just beautiful. What else we got, Spencer?
Again, if you guys want to be part of this whole amazing stuff, join our Discord server.
Dr. Jack Brown tweets out, Rittenhouse displays a sexual hand gesture of masturbation with describing loading his AR-15. This is a profound nonverbal tell / body language Freudian slip indicative of sexual sadism. That's the level where we're at, Jack.
No, that's what it is. I mean, this right here, I mean, just a screenshot. We don't know what he was doing. I mean, for us, yes, that's exactly what we're doing. But
Ernie's
I mean,
at it, like, what the fuck are you doing?
He's like, do I look it now? Do I look it now? Do I look at hands now? Let me look here. Oh. How did we not get banned off of YouTube yet? That's the fucking question.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. I mean, these people are trying to find any way to justify their reasonings to want to either to kill this white kid. That's what it is. They're looking for any reason to kill this white kid, to make him guilty, to find him guilty, to fucking do it. It's just.
And finally, we got the Geraldo Rivera tweet, Spencer. Show us that before we go to the rest of the show, because we haven't done a show in 2 weeks, so we are like got fucking blue balls over here. Geraldo Rivera tweets out, say what you want about her politics. AOC Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, as we didn't know, the AOC is Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez already, outshines every other member of Congress in eloquence and passionate sincerity. I mean, Jay,
if they're the cringiest bro, she's not going to fuck you ever.
I mean,
tweet in existence is this right here.
Why do you do this to us? You had the fucking Al Pacino, or not Al Pacino. What is it? The Al Capone's
Vault.
Al Capone's vault, and that I don't know. I'm not sure, but this might be worse than that.
I think it is.
That's pretty simp level behavior. And you know what this is a response to, Jay?
What is it?
Paul Gosar, the Arizona congressman, getting censured for tweeting out a video in which we actually have, and Spencer, hit us with that shit.
I have a hard boner right now. I'm not even like. Oh my god! This is like Habibi Bro production right now.
Yo, this is what got him censored? Oh my fucking god!
Oh shit! And the funny thing is, This is derived from Attack on Titan.
I know.
Like,
it's around Attack on Titan because we watched an episode together.
We did, and I got you hooked, and you got to watch the
and I never watched another episode again. That's how hooked you got me. I just don't have any time to do anything. But seriously,
I know I was like sleeping.
Watching Jay, I had never watched the video until now. This is what Paul goes.
This is the first.
For.
That was the first time I've watched it all the way through, and it's like
that's
why
what he got censored for. He got stripped of all his committee assignments for that fucking tweet.
Why?
Again, he's a member of Congress. Like I'm not saying like he should have tweeted that shit. In fact, I think it's fucking wild he did that.
People tweeted worse shit.
And people have certainly tweeted worse shit, but the fact that he got censored for that shit, Congress is fucking high school, bro. Congress is high school. This is a legislative body of unserious fucking children.
Absolutely. 100%.
My God, essentially. Spencer highlighting his own comment saying, next HPH project remaking that, but with Siraj and Jay.
Spencer highlighting his own comment.
My God. Stephanie saying in the Discord server that Paul Gosar got censored for that, yet Eric Swalwell can get away with sleeping with Fang Fang.
Don't make me bring up the Lauren Boebert part. Just do not make me do it.
Okay.
Do it right now. That'll be the last one.
What did Marjorie Taylor Greene get censored for again? She got censored for something, right? Well, like a bunch of old tweets.
I don't know.
If you could get the Lauren Boebert stuff, since he mentioned it, and Fuzzy's mentioning it. Oh, Dan. Daniel Whitmer's here. It says, I come home from work and see this shit.
Welcome, my son.
All right. So Marjorie Taylor Greene did not get censored, but she did get all of her committee assignments stripped away from her. Please show me the Lauren Boebert clip. We need to look at. We need to watch this.
We need to watch it, please.
We need to watch it right now, please.
Let's see this, Lauren.
Democrat policies are so pathetic and have done so poorly that the left has nothing else to do but troll the internet looking for ways to get offended and then try to target members and strip them of their committees. This is a dumb waste of the House's time. But since the Speaker has designated the floor to discuss members' inappropriate actions, shall we? The Jihad Squad member from Minnesota has paid her husband, and not her brother husband, the other one, over $1 million in campaign funds. This member is allowed on the Foreign Affairs Committee while praising terrorists. A Democrat chairwoman incited further violence in the streets outside of a courthouse. And then the cherry on top, my colleague and 3-month presidential candidate from California, who is on the Intelligence Committee, slept with Fang Fang, a Chinese spy. Let me say that again. A member of Congress who receives classified briefings was sleeping with the enemy. This is unacceptable. And
holy fuck. Yo.
Okay. Oh my God. That's the first time I watched the whole thing. Holy shit.
Wow. Wow, this really is fucking high school, man.
No, it really is. But holy fuck. Like she's crazy. I'm not gonna say she's not, but I think like crazy in a good way of like she would suffocate her ass on my face type of crazy. But like everything she was saying right there was pretty good. I mean, I would say the same shit. Like fuck. I mean, I might not have said Fang Fang. I might have said ping pong, but like
Oh my God, Jay. And that will get you stripped of your committee assignment. Right. Frostbite says we need, hold on, go back to that comment. Frostbite says we need to get Siraj and Jay elected to Congress so that they can get stripped of their committee assignments briefly afterward. And that is exactly because of Jay.
I would be right up there. I'd be like, I would like my my colleague Siraj to come over here so he can demonstrate fully what 69 means.
Oh my God.
Fuck.
You know, there have been so many stories, and there's this one final story I want to touch on that actually is just so beyond belief fucked up. And I've wanted to touch on it for some time, and I wanted to tweet about it, but there really wasn't a way for me to post about it. And that is this whistleblower inside the Illinois Police Union. Apparently, last week, they ousted the Illinois Police Union ousted from its membership an officer facing criminal charges for exposing a squad car video that showed his fellow officers slapping and cursing a man dying of a drug overdose. The case of Sergeant Javier Escueda, a 27-year veteran of the Joliet Police Department, was featured in September as the first installment of the USA Today series Behind the Blue Wall, an investigation involving more than 300 cases of police officers over the past decade who have spoken out against alleged misconduct in their departments. In this particular case, Escueda told USA Today that he's become a pariah among his coworkers since July 2020, when he shared with a television reporter footage from January of that year showing how officers treated a handcuffed black man in medical distress. Officers slapped Eric Lurie, restricted his airway, and shoved a baton in his mouth hours before his death. Escueda faces up to 20 years in prison after department officials opened a criminal investigation into his actions, and prosecutors charged him with 4 counts of official misconduct. Again, this is the police officer who released the video, not any of the police officers who were involved in the misconduct. So members of the Joliet Police Officers Association on Wednesday voted 35-1 to expel Escueda, a move first reported by the Herald Ledger newspaper in Joliet. In a letter informing him of the impending vote last month, union leaders described his conduct as reprehensible. The letter did not offer specifics on what actions from Escueda prompted the vote. But Escueda, on Thursday, said he believes the move is yet just another act of retaliation from Joliet's police leadership, who since the USA Today story have found themselves under an Illinois Attorney General's Office investigation and the department shakeup that led the city manager last month to fire Chief Don Mallett. So, Jay, you know, we always have that conversation about ending, like qualified immunity or, ending police unions after, say, an unarmed black person is shot and killed by police. Yeah, we never really talk about ending police unions when fucking shit like this happens. Why I feel like this should get more attention from people who actually really have legitimate grievances against the police department. First of all, fuck the 2 times 6. That's just everything about it. Fuck, makes me sick.
Look, when it comes to police unions, public teachers, anything to do with the public or tax-paying money should not have unions. That's my first and foremost opinion on those, and specifically when it comes to policing. When you give police the power of unionizations and also allowing them to be authoritative figures in your life, it's too much power. It's not defund the police. It's not any of that kind of stuff. The police are here for one reason, and that's public safety. Unions are not for that mission. They are for protecting the employees within that community. So, like, for example, teaching, the product of teaching is your children's education, learning experience, all of that kind of stuff. Teachers' unions, their main goal is to make sure teachers are protected. So when it comes to police unions, The main goal of police unions is to make sure the police is protected.
Right.
But the thing is,
they just don't give a shit. They don't give a shit about who they hurt outside of that domain.
Exactly. Because the main goal of police is to protect the public. But if it is the police that is attacking the public, that is harming the public, the police union is going to protect the police, is not going to protect.
It's just,
the
I
public.
mean, I just don't, like people who legitimately have been advocating for, practical solutions of reforming the police. Almost all of them come to the point. Well, it almost seemed to be very trendy last year to just say defund the police and that's it. But I think people who have been really like true advocates about this stuff have always talked about an qualified immunity, because that at least with respect to a police officer doing their job, they can't act with impunity and therefore do things that would harm other people and ultimately for arbitrary reasons. And then everything with respect to ending police unions, because those don't actually serve the public interest whatsoever. And that was a conversation that was being had briefly, but ultimately got drowned out by the defund the police talk. And unfortunately, when you live in an echo chamber of Twitter, that's all everyone talks about. That's not what, ending qualified immunity and police unions doesn't drive people to, fund politicians' campaigns.
Right.
Defund the police for like the very far left progressives. That seems to be like the only thing that seems to work. No one has time to fucking learn about qualified immunity or police unions. That's, your eyes fucking glaze over when you think about it.
Right. I mean, when a black Republican tries to do that, you have, Glenn Dickface over at Washington Post showcasing were his parents really cotton pickers? Like, let's go dive into this. It's like, so you think you're a good guy when you fucking talk like that?
Yeah.
But you're right.
It's getting late. We wanted to highlight before we leave, before we do our quick Ask Us Anything, we just want to highlight that Ghislaine Maxwell is currently on trial this week, which is obviously a big deal, considering that she hasn't been suicided in prison yet.
Because she hasn't said any names in public yet. And nor was her name on any of those private planes.
Oh, sorry. Now we get to our favorite segment of the evening, and that is Ask Us Anything. So, Habibis, go ahead, ask us your questions real quick before we head out for the evening. We are live currently on YouTube, Rumble, and Twitch. Although I probably should have said that out of order. Oh, Ilhan Omar responded to Lauren Boebert's floor speech, House floor speech, saying, "Luckily, my dad raised me right. Otherwise, I might have gone to the floor about this insurrectionist who sleeps with a pervert. I am grateful I was raised to be a decent human and not a deprived person who shamefully defecates and defiles the House of Representatives."
Yeah. Like, cheating on your husband with your campaign manager to funnel money into his account. Or, pretend like your brother is your husband. Like those type of things. Oh, for sure. For sure. That is absolutely 100% what your father was intended for you.
Essentially.
You fucking whore.
So what she's referring to about her husband being a pervert, saying that Lauren Boebert's husband, Jason Boebert, apparently did prison time for lewd exposure. I don't know what that means, but apparently exposed himself to two young women. Oh, he was arrested in January 2004.
I don't know what that means. Oh, it means showing your dick to other people.
In January 2004, when Jason Boebert was 24, he was arrested for exposing himself to two young women at a Colorado bowling alley. His future wife,
when he was 24.
Okay. This next sentence is great. His future wife, Lauren Roberts, as she was then known, who was 17 at the time, was also present and was told she was no longer welcome at the bowling alley. How did she get 86 from a bowling alley? She didn't show her dick.
Maybe she did.
Amazing. Let's get to some of the questions. Blake By, Councilman-elect Blake By says, Jay, did you get your VIP ticket to Sophia Urista yet?
I don't know what that is.
The performer had a fun accident with.
Oh yeah. I got you. I got what you mean. Because like I'm so outraged.
Yeah.
I am so outraged that the fact that she would piss on somebody's face like that. I am willing to go to her concert and confront her face to pussy.
At least you're a man about it, you know.
I am willing. Jay,
you don't look a gift horse in the pussy at all. Make no bones about it. JD Locke says, Siraj, has your wife unblocked you on Twitter yet? Yes. Yeah, she did.
Unfortunate.
She muted me instead. Anon City says, Bobert would or would not.
I mean, look. I would never say no to an ass sitting on my face. So, Bobart, if you're listening to this right now.
Of course, Jay. Of course you go that way. Bennett Mark D on Rumble says, ask us anything? Yeah, ask us anything. Any questions you want to ask
us?
Ask away.
Right. You know how some people say axe as in ask? We say ass as in ask.
Yeah.
So none the wiser, a.k.a. Carl. Jay, confidence level as we head into the home stretch of the fantasy season. Low. Very low. Because you're a bitch and you didn't fucking approve my waivers. Like, that's my thing about fantasy. Look, I spend my fucking time looking and listening and watching news. So if I'm the first person to do a waiver claim, you should accept it. Anyways, moving on, you bitch.
Daniel G says, why must you dox me on Maine, you fucking dumb shits of the millennium? And in fairness, we didn't dox you, Daniel.
You dox yourself with this. I mean, look at this.
Hank Habibi says, did you see Governor Hochul's utilities law about pronouns? There's a tweet about it. I have not seen it.
I did not see it. Anything about pronouns is like absolute garbage.
I mean, we'll see. If it's a big deal, I'm sure we'll tweet it. We'll find it on Twitter. Rico Rucka says, Lakers versus Celtics Friday. Siraj, who you got? I'm never going to pick against my Celtics. You kidding me? Obviously, Celtics, although they're struggling.
Oh yeah, and I hate the Lakers. I live here in California.
Blake says, when is Emily making her HBH debut? Never. She's never coming on the show.
She did make her Twitter debut in Fire.
She did.
Yeah, so Emily made her Twitter debut. It's going to take some time before she makes an
HBH
debut. Although I will say this. When I first asked Emily out, this was back in like December 2006, and I was 19 years old. You know, obviously I was terrified of my parents because,
you asked a Jew out. Yeah.
Well, it wasn't just that she was Jewish. It was the fact that it was like any girl, just because, parents are strict when it comes to dating. I was like, I just real quick ground rules here. You're probably never going to meet my parents. I said that from like the get-go.
But she met your parents, right?
No, she still hasn't met them. 15 years later, they still haven't met.
No, are you serious?
She's left him first.
Yeah. No, of course they're not.
No, I'm like, after I met your dad and stuff, I'm sure it's totally great. Because your dad is, honestly, I wish like we could have your dad and my dad just sit right in a room together, and then your mom and my mom sit, because it's like almost the mirror experience
It really is.
The only difference is my dad was an engineer and your dad was a surgeon, and we're both disappointments.
Yeah, basically. Fuzzy says, "Hi Jay, hope you had a nice time in Texas. Did you find it true that everything is bigger in Texas? If so, did you have trouble getting down off the larger toilets?"
No, and the reason why I didn't is because I don't have trouble getting down off of your mother, Fuzzy.
Hakirat says, "You ignored my comment, Liz." What did you say, Hakirat? Let me find
Hakirat. Habibi.
My day equals good equals A1 tip top first class next to HBH. Love y'all.
A1 top
A1
class.
A1 tip top first class.
A1 tip top class.
Tug Pepper says, "Who is that guy that keeps popping up?" That's Spencer Sachs, our producer.
That is our producer, and you're completely right. I tried to tell him 2 pop-ups max.
Yeah, he's popped up at least 69 times. So we can't have that. It's fucking fire. It's fucking fire. All right.
Our producer, he's quick too on it.
Z-Man streams. I don't know if this is actually a legit troll because it's coming from Twitch. Like if we're getting the spam account right now, or if this is a legit thing.
We don't know. Hi there. No, let me read it. I want to read it. Though.
You want to read it? All right, let's go to it.
Hi there. I have been trying to reach you for some time now regarding your vehicle's extended warranty. Please press 1 now to speak to an agent.
Legit question from Nate. BB says HBH next week, the day before Thanksgiving. Hey, if we're able to swing it, we'll do it. We didn't do it last year. We did it on Tuesday, and I think that kind of threw off the
BB's a little bit.
Yeah, so I'm willing to do it on a Wednesday.
I'm okay to do it on the Wednesday, just because my work schedule and stuff, like I can't do really anything with family. So if you're okay to stream it, you let me know.
We'll stream it. If you're watching, great. If not, catch it later. We'll be around.
Yes, sir.
Spencer Sachs, thank you so much for your help on this episode. You did a great job. Ben Morrissey as well. Thank you so much for your help on this episode. If you want to follow either of them on Twitter, I believe their Twitters are Spencer_Sachs and at Ben Morrissey 16 on Twitter. As always, you can find me on Twitter at Siraj Hashmi. You can find Jay at Asslickin. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Habibi_Bros. Don't forget to check out our Instagram, also at Habibi_Bros. If you haven't already, there's a link in the description of this video to join the Habibi Discord server. And as always, if you really want to support us, go ahead and check out our Patreon at patreon.com/Habibi Bros. And if you're on Rumble, YouTube, or Twitch, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button or follow, whatever the case may be. And Jay, good show tonight. I know there's a lot to cover, and we kind of got down to business really. We got down to business pretty much immediately.
I think we did, honestly. Yeah. And just to say to everybody else, we don't tweet each other and say, let's wear the black shirt together or let's wear the gray shirt together. We are just so mentally, like, we're right there.
In sync.
We're in sync.
Synergy. Anyways, Habibis, I'm Siraj Hashmi.
I'm Jay Kobbe.
And we're the Habibi Bros. Spencer, Ben, all the Habibis. Hope y'all have a good night. Peace and masalam.
Masalam.